Hello, and thank you for joining me. I really just wanted to come on and just have a quick chat to you because something really profound happened in a meditation just recently, and I wanted to share it with you. And the main question that came through was, what's caging you in at the moment? What's holding you in this structure where you are unable to move and breathe? What's holding you so structured and so caught in everything that there's no opportunity for you to see outside that cage? And it was interesting because in the meditation, I had like this cage, right? And inside was a person. And underneath the cage, there were like people hanging off the bottom of it. And I say people, but it's more the responsibilities and the burdens that we have in our life, more probably responsibilities, but it was like our children, our clients, our family. And what that was doing were those people were almost like holding on to the bottom of the cage and like bringing it down and like closing the top of the cage on and tightening it and like squishing it like right in. And it was a really interesting concept because, we do have all these responsibilities and somewhat burdens, for instance, that do actually drain us. And it does like affect our energy where we just don't have the capacity to keep going through life because we've got everything kind of hinging on us. And through this meditation, I was shown that, within the cage, so if you could imagine a square cage and the top of those cages, of that cage kind of opening up and it almost becoming like an unfolded box where it had like this platform on the side where we could allow those people or those responsibilities that were hanging off originally the opportunity to come up and stand beside us and stand on that platform where they could see all the infinite possibilities and opportunities available to them. And I was asking, well, why were these people hanging off us? And the thing is, because we are in the cage, we are resonating at that level, our energies at that level. And when we sit in that caged, structured, condensed, like pulling in vibration, people that are similar to us will be attracted to that too. And so that's why people are sitting on the base of the cage that are draining our energy, because that's what we've attracted to us in our life. And I found that very interesting because, it's just a different perspective of, what is stopping us from reaching our capacities, reaching our limits. And after this meditation, my partner was really interesting. He said, "Oh, I'm reading The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer, and I love this book. It's an incredible book." And so I started to read it, and then when I hit chapter 13, which was called Far, Far Beyond, Far, Far Beyond, it started to begin the chapter with these words. So ultimately, the word beyond captures the true meaning of spirituality. And in the most basic sense, going beyond means going past where you are. So it means that you're not staying in your current state. And when you constantly go beyond yourself, there's no more limitations. There are no more boundaries. And so the limitations and the boundaries only start to exist at the places where you stop going beyond. So if you never stop, then you go beyond boundaries, beyond limitations, beyond the sense of that restricted self that may have been caged in and structured. Like, I remember reading this book it was a few years ago now, and it captivated me. These words captivated me just as much as they did now. And I've read chapter 13 many, many times, and I've listened to it on audio as well. And you know what? Something in my heart just broke open, and I longed to experience this life beyond my limitations, beyond my comfort zone. And I love how Michael Singer describes how to know when we actually approach the edges of our comfort zone. It's when we feel discomfort. It's when we feel that sensation that something isn't comfortable anymore. And through this whole process and series of synchronicities, I started to ask the Akashic records like what their insights were. And they showed me this beautiful meditation of exactly that cage opening up and this beautiful platform coming forward, and almost like getting a healing or an activation to help me realize when I'm at that point where I am starting to feel a discomfort, how beautiful it can be to just gently, gently push those little barriers out and see where it leads and see how my body feels through that. And so I actually have downloaded that meditation through the Akashic Records. I've recorded it and I've now put it on Insight Timer. And it's called Beyond the Cage, a guided journey to infinite possibilities. And it is such a soul nourishing meditation, and it guides you to start to look at unlocking infinite possibilities in your world. And I love it because it's using the Akasha field, which is our 11th chakra. So our Akashic field, so everyone has their Akasha, and it sits out our higher chakras, which is in the 11th chakra. And it's all about information, but it's all about transcending and supporting and loving and embracing this expansive growth that we have so much opportunity to reach out and get. And so it really is a beautiful meditation to help you discover what your true power and sovereignty actually is. And it's this beautiful metaphor of breaking out the cage. And so I'll put a link to it in the show notes so you can listen to it. And I'd love just to hear, because once I listened to it, far out, it was a game changer. It shifted things. And I am now just on this like I'm being propelled forward, because I've realized that the things that were keeping me stuck, that were keeping me caged, no longer have to serve in that way. And I think once you start to release that and get almost like a healing through the Akasha, things do start to get more momentum. So I wanted to jump on, share this a little bit more in depth with you, and give you the link so you can listen to the meditation, because I think it's time that we start to break free and we soar together, because this has been, I don't know if you've realized, but the energetic lately at the beginning of this year has been really heavy. It's been really, like, I just want to say muddy, and it's like really thick, and we've been like trudging through it for quite some time. And then, yes, we hit like Mercury retrograde, and things kind of went a little bit haywire. And, from there, I think now it's time for us to like shift that, to move that, and to allow ourselves to break free. And that's my invitation for you today, is to let these words drop into your heart. Know that you can access infinite possibilities if you allow yourselves to understand what is actually underneath your cage and how to actually break that free and create a platform that we can all stand on, that the collective and our family and our friends can see that too. Because perhaps, just perhaps, they might actually be wanting someone to show them the path as well. I mean, they were attracted to you for the first place, right? So they were resonant with that in your field. So perhaps they're also looking for someone else to show them a way. And if you could be that catalyst for change for them, that is an incredible, beautiful, potent gift that you can give them. So I will I'll put a little link to the meditation. Please listen to it. Please, it's 10 minutes. It's not long. And please share how things actually shifted and changed for you as well. I want to hear from you. I'd love to hear from you. All right, all the best, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.
All right, friends, that concludes today's conversation. If it lifted your spirit or touched your soul, it would mean the absolute world to me if you could leave a review and subscribe so that more souls can be impacted by these life-changing conversations. And if you're not ready for this episode to end, head over to tarahegarty.com to get the show notes for today's episode. I love you so much and thank you for being here. I'll see you next week for another episode of Business Meets Soul.